Om Shri Padmatmane Namaham. Namaste devotees and Jai Sita Ram. I'd like to welcome each and every one of you to our Sunday morning satsang this beautiful October 31st, 2021. Before we commence with our puja for today, devotees, I ask that you join together with me as we sing this very beautiful bhajan. As we go ahead and prep our minds and our bodies to begin our Sunday morning service for today. स्वागत संबंजन इस मंदिर हो, भक्ति की स्वाति की धार, सुंदर सुमधुर गान हमारो, रंजन सब नर नार। ईश सगुण निर्गुण विनाशी, माता पिता रुयार। ईश सगुण निर्गुण विनाशी, माता पिता रुयार। तुर भाई हम वास्त सदाई, तुर भाई हम वास्त सदाई, तार हमें संसार। स्वागत सब जन इस मंदिर हो, भक्ति की स्वाति की धार, सुंदर सुमधुर गान हमार, रंजन सब नर नार। तीर्थ माया मोद लगाए, पुण्य यहाँ पर सारा। तीर्थ माया मोद लगाए, पुण्य यहाँ पर सारा। संगति संतन नीम चलावे, संगति संतन नीम चलावे, शोभन सब व्यवहार। स्वागत सब जन इस मंदिर हो, भक्ति की स्वाति की धार, सुंदर सुमधुर गान हमारो, रंजन सब नर नार। रंजन सब नर नार, रंजन सब नर नार। At this time, devotees, I ask that you join together with me as you go ahead and clasp your hands and close your eyes. Take a deep breath in, and as you exhale, relax your spine, your shoulders, your neck, your forehead, and clear your mind of all distracting thoughts. Take some time now, devotees, to focus on a form of Bhagwan that's most pleasing to you, one that helps you focus and join together with me as we chant our opening prayers. Om Purnamada Purnamidam Purnata Purnamrachiti Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnamevavashishyati Ishavasyam Miram Sarvam Yatkincha Jagatyam Jagatina Tiktina Bhunjita Mangrudha Kasya Svidhanam Om Sahana Vavatu Sahano Bhunaktu Sahavedam Karavavahe Tejasvinavadhitamastu Ma Vidvishavahe Hari Om Shanti 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 Hari Om Om. At this time, devotees, as you join together with me as we chant the most powerful mantra in this universe, as we join together in chanting the Gayatri Mantra. Om Agakshe Varade Devi Akshare Brahmodini Gayatri Jagat Matar Vishwayoni Namostute Om Bhuri Bhuvasvaha Tat Savitur Bharenyam Bharagone Vasya Dhimahi Dhiyo Yonah Prachodayat Om Bhuri Bhuvasvaha Tat Savitur Bharenyam Bharagone Vasya Dhimahi Dhiyo Yonah Prachodayat Om Bhuri Bhuvasvaha तत्सवितुर्वरेण्यं भर्गो देवस्य धीमहि धियो यो नः प्रचोदयात्। हरि ओम शांति शांति शांति। हरि ओम प्रेम से बोलो गायत्री माता की जय। You have to forgive me, devotees. It's cold outside, but warmer in the house, so I am sweating a little bit. I apologize for that. As we continue on with our prayers, we all join together now to offer obediences to that remover and destroyer of all obstacles in our life and in this universe. We join together as we offer prayers to Lord Ganesh. Om Shri Ganapati Namaha. Om Jananam Bhutanganadhi Sevitam Kapita Jambu Palachara Bhakshanam Umasutam Shoka Vinashakarakam Namami Viganeshwara Pada Pankajam Om Vakratunda Mahakaya Surya Koti Samaprabha Nirviganam Kurumi Deva Sarvakarishu Sarvada Om Raksha Raksha Ganadhaksha Rakshitra Lokya Rakshakara Bhaktanam Bhayam Karta Tunata Bhava Bhavaranavar Om Shriman Mahaganadipatay Namah Prem se Bolo Ganesh Bhagwan ki Jai. We continue on with our prayers, devotees, by offering obediences to that mother of knowledge and learning in this universe. We offer prayers to Saraswati Mata. Om Saraswati Mahabhangi Vidye Kamalalochane Vidyarupe Vishalakshi Vidyam Nehi Namostute. Om Saraswati Namastubhyam Varare Kamarupini Vidyarambham Karishyami Siddhira Bhavatu Me Sada Siddhira Bhavatu Me Sada. Om Mahasaraswati Namah Prem Svaro Saraswati Mata Ki Jai. Continuing on with our prayers, devotees, we would be remiss with this week being the very special week known as Diwali if we do not offer prayers and obediences to that mother of prosperity and wealth, both physical and spiritual, and to that mother of light in this universe. We offer prayers as we join together and offer obediences to Lakshmi Mata. Om Lakshmi Karotu Kalyanam Arogyam Dana Sampadam Mama Shatru Vinashaya Deepa Jyotir Namostute. Om Namaste Astu Mahamai Shri Pite Srapujate Shankar Chakra Gana Haste Mahalakshmi Namostute. Om Namaste Garudharudhe Kula Sura Bhayankarim Sarva Papa Hare Devi Mahalakshmi Namostute. Om Sarvagye Sarvavarare Sarvadushtam Bhayankari Sarvadukha Hare Devi Mahalakshmi Namostute. Om Siddhi Buddhi Prade Devi Bhukti Mukti Pradayani Mantra Murti Sada Devi Mahalakshmi Namostute. Om Aryantarhite Devi Adya Shakti Maheshwari Yungha Jayungha Sambhote Mahalakshmi Namostute. Om Stula Sukshma Maharautre Mahashakti Mahodare Mahapapa Hare Devi Mahalakshmi Namostute. Om Padmasana Sthite Devi Parabrahma Swarupani Parameshi Jagane Matar Mahalakshmi Namostute. Om Shvetambardhare Devi Nana Lankar Bhushate Jagat Sthite Jagar Matar Mahalakshmi Namostute. Mahalakshmi Namostute. Om Prem Svara Lakshmi Mata Ki Jai. As we continue on, devotees, we offer prayers to that universal mother and that destroyer of all evils in our life and in this universe. We offer prayers to Adi Shakti Durga Mata. Mangala Kali Bhandra Kali Kapalini Durga Kshama Shiva Dhatri Swaha Swadha Namostute. Jai Tvam Devi Chamunde Jai Putarate Nihardini Jai Sarvangati Devi Kaleratre Namostute. Adevi Sarvabhuteshu Vishnu Mayeti Shamlita. Namastasye 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 Namo Namaya Devi Sarvabhuteshu Buddhi Rupena Samstita. Namastasye Namastasye नमस्तस्यै नमो नमः या देवी सर्वभूतेषु लक्ष्मीरूपेण संस्थिता नमस्तस्यै नमो नमः या देवी सर्वभूतेषु शक्तिरूपेण संस्थिता नमस्तस्यै नमो नमः या देवी सर्वभूतेषु श्रद्धारूपेण संस्थिता नमस्तस्यै नमो नमः या देवी सर्वभूतेषु शान्तिरूपेण संस्थिता नमस्तस्यै नमो नमः या देवी सर्वभूतेषु तुष्टिरूपेण संस्थिता नमस्तस्यै नमो नमः या देवी सर्वभूतेषु दयारूपेण संस्थिता नमस्तस्यै नमो नमः या देवी सर्वभूतेषु मातृरूपेण संस्थिता नमस्तस्यै नमो नमः. As we pray to Mother Durga, we say, O Durga Mata, thou art the universal mother, and we, your children, worship you in your many forms. O Ma, we see you as Buddhi, wisdom, Lakshmi, prosperity, Shakti, and Suryaya Namah, Suryaya Namah, Suryaya Namah, Suryaya Namah, Adideva Namastomyam, Prasidha Mama Bhashkaram, Divakara Namastomyam, Prabhakara Namostute. Suryaya Namah, Suryaya Namah, Suryaya Namah, Suryaya Namah. Om Prem se bolo Navgraha Devata ki jai, Prem se bolo Surya Narayana Bhagavan ki jai. As we continue on with our prayers, devotees, we offer obediences to that sustainer of all things dharmic and all things righteous in this universe. We offer prayers to the Lord Vishnu. Om Shri Vishnave Namaha. Om Shatakharam Bhujagashayanam Dharmanabham Surisham Vishwadharam Gagana Sadrasham Meghavaranam Shubhanam. Om Lakshmi Kantam Kamale Nayanam Yogi Bhiradhana Gamyam Vande Vishnu Bhaumaya Haram Sarvalokeekanatham. Om Sashankha Chakram Sakirita Kundalam Sapita Vastram Sarasiruheshanam Sahara Vakshasthara Shobhikostu Bhashriyam Namami Vishnu Shirasa Chaturabhujam Namami Vishnu Shirasa Chaturabhujam. Om Prem se bolo Vishnu Bhagwan ki jai. And finally, devotees, we offer prayers and obediences to that universal Father and that universal Guru. We offer prayers to that destroyer of all evils in our life and in this universe. We join together as we offer prayers to Lord Shiva. Om Namah Shivaya. Om Namah Shivaya. Om Namah Shivaya. Om Bharapura Gaurang Karunavataram Samsara Saram Bhujagendraharam Sada Vasantam Hirdayardavinde Bhavam Bhavani Sahitam Namami Bhavam Bhavani Sahitam Namami. Om Namah Shivaya. Om Namah Shivaya. Om Namah Shivaya. Hari Om Namah Shivaya. Shivaya. Hari Om Namah Shivaya. Om Namah Shivaya. Om Namah Shivaya. Om Namah Shivaya. Hari Om Namah Shivaya. Om Namah Shivaya. Devotees, we offer this next prayer for all those suffering from various illnesses, diseases, injuries, and ailments. We ask that they may have a fast, speedy, and full recovery. We also offer a prayer for those transitioning from this world to the next. May the passage be a smooth and tranquil. Om Trayambakam Yajame Sugandhim Pushnivardhanam Urvarukamiva Bandhanam Mrityurmukshiyamamrutat. Om Trayambakam Yajame Sugandhim Pushnivardhanam Urvarukamiva Bandhanam Mrityurmukshiyamamrutat. Om Trayambakam Yajame Sugandhim Pushnivardhanam Urvarukamiva Bandhanat. Mrityurmukshiyamamrutat. Om Gangadapate Namaha. Om Kartike Namaha. Om Nandishwaraya Namaha. Om Vasuki Namaha. Om Shri Samsadha Shivaya Namaha. Prem se bolo Shiva Shankar Bhagwan ki Jai. Devotees, before we continue on with our sermon for today, I want to thank Uncle Walter and Auntie Sarani for once again recording a very beautiful bhajan, as well as a very small speech for us to listen to during our Sunday morning service. I also want to thank Geeta for recording a song and sending it in. Today we'll be given the honor of listening to her, as well as an accompaniment singing the Hanuman Chalisa today during our Sunday morning service. So we're going to move on over to listen to those bhajans, and then we'll come back to continue on with our sermon for today.
A guarantee is given to us all, we are told. But what is the condition? Man me Ram basali. We must establish Ram fully in our prayers. Ram is compassionate and the uplifter of downtrodden. He sends a constant flow of happiness to all. Fall in love with him and fix your mind always on him. Bolo Ram, Jai Jai Ram, Bolo Ram. He Ram, 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 He Ram. Bolo Ram, Jai Jai Ram, Bolo 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 Ram. जन्म सफल होगा रे बंदे, मन में राम बसा ले, मन में राम बसा ले. बोलो राम जय जय राम, बोलो राम. राम नाम की मोती का सौ की माल बना ले, मन में राम बसा ले. बोलो राम जय जय राम, बोलो राम. बोलो राम जय जय राम, बोलो राम. राम पतित पावन करुणाकर, औ सदा सुख दाता. बोलो राम जय जय राम, बोलो राम. बोलो राम जय जय राम, बोलो राम. हो राम पतित पावन करुणाकर, और सदा सुख दाता. सरस सुहावन अति मन भावन, राम से प्रीत लगा ले. मन में राम बसा ले। बोलो राम जय जय राम, बोलो राम, बोलो राम जय जय राम, बोलो राम। राम भजन में डूब के अपने निर्मल कर ले काया। राम नाम से प्रीत लगा के जीवन पार लगा ले। मन में राम बसा ले। बोलो राम जय जय राम, बोलो राम, बोलो राम जय जय राम, बोलो राम। बोलो राम जय जय राम, बोलो राम, बोलो राम जय जय राम, बोलो राम। बोलो राम जय जय राम, बोलो राम, बोलो राम जय जय राम, बोलो राम।
सुनी
Once again, I'd like to thank Uncle Walter and Auntie Sarani for recording that very beautiful bhajan, as well as that short speech and sending it in, to Geeta for recording and sending in the Hanuman Chalisa for us to listen to today during our Sunday morning service. Thank you to all of you, and Jai Sita Ram. Devotees, before we continue on with our service for today, for those of us who have a Guru, I ask that we join together as we offer a prayer to our Guru. If not, then I ask that you take Lord Shiva or any Deva in your mind as your universal Guru. Excuse me, as you join together with me and as we offer these prayers. Om Guru Brahma Guru Vishnu Guru Deo Maheshwara Guru Sakshat Param Brahma Tasmai Shri Guruve Namaham. Om Dhyana Moolam Guru Murti Puja Moolam Guru Param Mantra Moolam Guru Ramakyam Moksha Moolam Guru Kripat Prem se Guru Deo Ki Jai. Lakshmi Mata, Jai Lakshmi Mata, Jai Lakshmi Mata, Jai Om. Jai Lakshmi Mata, Jai Lakshmi Mata, Jai Lakshmi Mata, Jai Om. Jai Lakshmi Mata, Jai Lakshmi Mata, Jai Lakshmi Mata, Jai Jai Lakshmi Mata, Jai Lakshmi Mata, Jai Lakshmi Mata, Jai Om. Jai Lakshmi Mata, Jai Om. Jai Lakshmi Mata, Jai Lakshmi Mata, Jai Lakshmi Mata, Jai Om. Shrimad Narayana 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 Shrimad Narayana 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 Krishna Narayana 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 Krishna Narayana 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 Rama Narayana 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 Rama Narayana 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 Shrimad Narayana 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 Shrimad Narayana 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 Krishna Narayana 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 Rama Narayana 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 Shrimad Narayana 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 Shrimad Narayana 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 Jai Jai Hanumana Jai Hanumana Jai Jai Hanumana Jai Hanumana Jai Jai Hanuman, Jai Hanuman, Jai Jai Hanuman, Jai Hanuman, Jai Lakshmi Mata, Jai Lakshmi Mata, Jai Lakshmi Mata, Jai Om. Jai Lakshmi Mata, Jai Lakshmi Mata, Jai Lakshmi Mata, Jai Om. Jai Lakshmi Mata, Jai Om. Jai Lakshmi Mata, Jai Om. A very eclectic mix of tunes that I just sung, devotees. But why? Why that eclectic mix? Why did we sing those specific tunes? Today's sermon, and I wanted to make sure I was very specific about this, talks specifically about Diwali. Diwali is coming up this week. Actually, on Thursday, November 4th is the day that we celebrate Diwali. But why did we sing songs dedicated to Mother Lakshmi, to Lord Krishna, to Lord Rama, and the Hanuman Swami as well, in terms of all of those bhajans? And it's very important for us to understand what Diwali is, how we celebrate Diwali, and why we celebrate Diwali. Diwali, in and of itself, or Deepawali, is not just a one-day event for us for those of us in the religion of Sanatana Dharma. You'll see it in media and everything, maybe posted as one day or that one big event. But Diwali is actually a 5-day celebration. It's 5 days in totality. And it's important for us to know what those 5 days are, what we're supposed to do on those 5 days, and what the name of the 5 days are. So, again, our first event is really not on November 4th, which is Diwali Day. It actually happens on November 2nd. That is 2 days prior to Diwali. And 2 days prior to Diwali is known as Dhanteras or Dhantrayodashi. Dhanteras or Dhantrayodashi. And it's known as that day because it's on the 13th day of the lunar month. Sorry, it's the 13th lunar day of the month of Ashwin on the Krishna Paksh, which is the dark fortnight of the moon. We will begin by cleaning our homes in preparation for Diwali. And this is what happens on this day. We begin to clean our homes. We make the environment clean. It's also a time for us to make purchases if we need to. Buy gold, buy jewelry, buy cars, maybe buy homes. It's considered very lucky for us to make those bigger purchases on a day like today, or on a day like Dhanteras, 2 days before Diwali. But why is it known as Dhanteras and Dhantrayodashi? What is the religious significance behind it? I understand that for totality, we clean our homes, we make sure everything is ready for the day of Diwali, but what is the worshipping part of that day? The cleaning of your home and the purchases and everything you do should really be done in the morning time. You wake up, you clean the home, you get everything you need to. But as we get into the afternoon and in the evening time, we also should take some time to worship a deva known as Dhanvantari. Dhanvantari. He's known as a god of medicine. Or he's also known as the Vaidya of the gods. Vaidya, translated from Sanskrit to English, means the doctor of the gods. During his creation, which occurred on that day, which again is on Dhanteras, 2 days before Diwali, again on November 2nd this year, he manifested from the churning of the Milky Ocean into this universe with a nectar. He actually had a kalsa in his hand, and that kalsa had a nectar. There was a fight for this kalsa too, because that nectar granted its consumer immortality. He had that in one hand, while in the other hand, he came into this world and brought forth the Ayurveda. We don't really talk about all of our Vedas that much, but what is the Ayurveda? He's known as the god and all-knower of the Ayurveda. The Ayurveda, essentially for us in Sanatana Dharma, is a text that has medicinal information. Things that we know today that help heal us. Treatments, herbs, procedures. Lord Dhanvantari blessed this world with the knowledge for the betterment of mankind to help rid it of suffering of disease. So not only did he bring forth this nectar of immortality, he brought forth a religious text for us to utilize to help make our lives better, easier, more wholesome. And some of those things we see today, we still follow. Maybe rubbing coconut oil to maybe grow our hair. We can see it didn't work out for me too well. I followed the instructions too late. Or using turmeric and garlic and things like those natures to treat inflammation. Ancient texts with ancient knowledge, with stuff that we still utilize today. We even utilize components from those things today to help with our Eastern medicine, the treatments that we perform. So that's the first religious significance. You perform your puja in the evening time, Lord Ganesh, Mother Gauri. You still perform puja to Mother Lakshmi, but you also perform puja in obediences to Lord Dhanvantari. For blessings, for good health, for strength and vitality in life. Day 1 also represents, and I'm going to call it Day 1. Day 1 represents the significance known as Yamadeepo. Yamaraj, as we know, is the keeper of the underworld, the gatekeeper, the holder of the underworld. Lights are to be set out on Day 1, again, starting on Tuesday, every night, both in sky lamps and offerings at the base of tulsi plants in the form of diyas. We place those around the home by tulsi plants, not too close, of course, and then the doorways of homes. There's also another diya that's lit on this day, offered to Yamaraj, the host of death, to avert untimely death, not only during Diwali, but during the year that's to come. Diwali for us can also celebrate and mark a period of, essentially a reset period for us, in which we get to change and focus on something new for the year to come. Essentially, it's like a new year, but not necessarily the new year. It's auspicious for Yamaraj diya, for that diya for Yamadeep or Yamaraj, to light a clay diya, maybe something you make at home. If you don't have it, it's okay. You can use a tea candle. The last part is what's more important. But if you want to be very specific, you take a clay diya, you make your own little wick. You can either buy the handmade ones or you can make your own at home if you know how to. You fill that diya not with ghee but with sesame oil. And you place that diya on the southern portion of your home for Yamaraj. Again, to protect your home and to ask Yamaraj for blessings for the home so that there's no untimely deaths that occur during the year. This day is a celebration aimed at increasing wealth and prosperity. It engages folks in cleansing, renewal, and securing of auspiciousness as embodied by Mahalakshmi Mata. So we make our purchases, we clean our homes, and then we offer prayers to Lord Dhanwantari, as well as performing Yamdeep and placing diyas around our home, but a very special and important one at the very back of your home. In the southernmost portion, a clay diya with sesame oil as an offering to Yamaraj to prevent untimely deaths. That's Day 1. And remember, Day 1 is known as Dhanteras or Dhantra Yodashi. Day number 2, that's the day before Diwali. This year it's going to be on Wednesday, November 3rd. Day 2 is known as Choti Diwali or Narak Chaturdashi. Now, Choti is a very cute word. We love using the word Choti. Choti means middle, small Diwali. If you want to describe something that's cute, you use the word Choti. The Choti plate, the cute little plate. The Choti dessert, the cute little dessert. So it's known as kind of like cute or small. But we also know it as Narak Chaturdashi. Now, this is the 14th lunar day of Krishna Paksh in the month of Ashwin. That's when Diwali and all these festivals occur. Its rituals are interpreted as ways to liberate souls from their suffering in Narak or hell, as well as a reminder of spiritual auspiciousness. For some of us in Sanatana Dharma, it's a day to pray for the peace of one's ancestors and light their way for their journey in the cyclic afterlife. Diyas are lit and the home is decorated with lights, flowers, and rangoli. This is a good day to buy sweets for a family and offer to gods and other various folks around the town, visitors, people that you may know. We're very good at doing something like this for Christmas time. I will let you know. I remember that my family, when we lived on the military base, my mom would cook. One year she made big batches of sugar cookies and she made little baskets and we ran around the neighborhood and we delivered those to our neighbors. Choti Diwali is a very good day for that. Diwali is not just about festival of light and purification. It's about spreading love, joy, and goodness around. So it's about doing that, but also lighting diyas and remembering your ancestors, those who paved the way for you, but also to continuously and symbolically light the way for them in the afterlife. To try to remove any sins that they may be carrying along with them. To assist them because of all they've done to assist you in this life. Another auspicious reason to celebrate this day is due to the Asura, Narak Asura, being killed by Bhagwan Shri Krishna. It's a very auspicious day. That's why we sing obediences to Lord Krishna. Krishna Narayana, Narayana, Narayana. Narak Asura was not only killed by Bhagwan Shri Krishna, he was killed by Satyabhama and Kali as well. This day is celebrated by early morning rituals and festivities following an evening puja for Mother Lakshmi, Lord Ganesh, and for Hanuman Swami. We'll talk about why Hanuman Swami here in just a second. But remember that there are religious significances to each and every day. Day 1, the creation of Lord Dhanwantari. Day 2 is the perishing of Narak Asura and that shift of unrighteousness back to righteousness by Bhagwan Shri Krishna, Satyabhama, and Kali. But Hanuman Puja is also performed on this day, performed in the morning time. In some parts of India and some parts of the world, It coincides with a day known as Kali Chudas. It's believed that spirits roam around on the night of Kali Chudas. And Hanuman Swami, who is the deity of strength, he is the lord of power, strength, and protection, is worshipped to seek protection from the spirits. Diwali itself, which is the day following, the big day of Diwali, is also known to mark the return of Lord Rama to Ayodhya after his exile. The devotion and dedication of Hanuman Swami pleased Lord Rama so much that he blessed Hanuman to be worshipped before him. That was one of the blessings Lord Rama gave to Hanuman Swami. So the day before Diwali, before we worship Lord Ram and Mother Lakshmi and we perform all of our pujas, we should also pay our respects to Hanuman Swami. On the day before Diwali, Choti Diwali, on Narak Chaturdashi, to ensure that we're worshipping him appropriately, but to also ask for his protection, his strength, his courage, his power, so that we are not affected by negative spirits that may be roaming around us. That's day 2. We follow on to day 3. Day 3 is the biggest day of Diwali itself. It marks the last day of the dark fortnight of the lunar month. It's known as Diwali or Deepavali. Deep or Deepam means light. It is a festival of light, a period of light, a time of light. Light is pure, light is holy. Light brings us happiness, it brings us goodness, it brings us wealth, it brings us condolences, it brings us solace. Our homes should be filled with light from morning till evening, to include diyas being placed and lit in front of all entryways around the home, inside, outside. You want everything and everywhere to be as bright as possible. Don't turn off any lights. Don't worry about your power bill. Your power bill is not what should be focused on this day. What should be focused on is that being of light, that creation of light, that source of light, to make your home and your soul more embodied. It also celebrates a time of victory. We just mentioned it. At this time, many years ago, Lord Rama, Mother Sita, and Lakshman returned from Lord Rama's exile back to his home of Ayodhya, his 14-year exile. He defeated the demon king Rama. He performed everything he needed to, and he returned home to his kingdom. Can you imagine? And I want you to think of it this way. We see videos all the time of soldiers being deployed out for months, potentially years at a time, and then they return home and there's a big festival to it. Now imagine that same thing. A great warrior, a great leader. The incarnation of Vishnu himself leaves for 14 years. Exiles, learns, goes into battle, protects those around him, and comes home. It's a celebration of that equivalence. That's why we have to respect and honor our armed soldiers so much. Think of them like Lord Rama and all of the things that they do. A big celebration is performed. You perform your pujas to Lord Rama in the morning, devotees. Primarily in the afternoon time. Lord Rama is known as a fair-skinned man who was born in the in the high noon time when the sun was at its highest point. So we perform our pujas to Lord Rama in the morning, but in the evening time, as the sun sets and we light our diyas in her home, we perform prayers and pujas unto Mahalakshmi Mata. We welcome her into our clean homes, and with her she brings prosperity and happiness for the coming year. We perform pujas to Lord Ganesh Mata Gauriya, the Navgraha Devata, as well, but we end our puja with prayers to Mother Lakshmi. If you have the ability to, devotees, you can also perform puja unto all 9 forms of Mother Lakshmi, all representing different things, but ultimately to bring happiness and wealth into your home. Diwali is the big day. Day after, day 4, is known as Govardhan Puja, Anakut, or Bali Pratipada. I have to say those words carefully because if I don't, I'll get tired. Bali Pratipada. This is the day after the Diwali, and it's the bright fortnight. It's the first day of the bright fortnight of the lunar solar calendar. It's referred to in some areas as Anakut, which means heap of grain if you translate that to English. We perform Govardhan Puja, or it's also known as Bali Pratipada. On this day, it's dedicated to the love between husband and wife, and men will often buy gifts for their wives. There is a big story behind this between Lord Shiva and Mother Parvati about them playing a game, but really it's about the bond between husband and wife and everything that we share no matter what happens between us. In some rural communities, the 4th day is celebrated as Govardhan Puja. For us in Sanatana, we celebrate it as Govardhan Puja. Govardhan itself was a great mountain. And during this time, it honors the legend of Bhagwan Shri Krishna saving the cow herds and farming communities from incessant rains and floods triggered by Lord Indra's anger. which he accomplished by lifting that Govardhan mountain. Not only did he lift that Govardhan mountain, he used just one finger to do it, his pinky, and he held it up for the entirety of the storm to save that village. Again, showing how righteousness overcomes unrighteousness. A time where light conquers over some sorts of darkness. There's also an agricultural symbolism to this, and we know that as Annakut. Now, a lot of us may not know this. Annakut means mountains of food. We perform Govardhan Puja in this way. Communities prepare over hundreds of dishes of varieties of ingredients, different kinds of foods, fruits, and then they dedicate those foods to Bhagwan Shri Krishna to be shared among the community. They make a big mountain out of these foods. We worship Bhagwan Shri Krishna as we make this mountain symbolically. And then that mountain of food is then distributed to those amongst the village, those in the community to share, to eat, to enjoy together. We prepare this mountain of sweets to the faithful who have gathered for darshan, to visit. But finally, this day is also celebrated in honor of the notional return of the Daitya king, Raja Bali, to the earth and the victory of Vamana. Vamana was one of the many incarnations of Bhagwan Vishnu. The fifth incarnation, in fact, and it marks the victory of Lord Vishnu over Mahabali and all the asuras through metamorphosis into Trivikrama, which is essentially the form he took and changed into to conquer the world. Remember, in the story, Bhagwan Shri Vishnu came as Vamana and conquered the world in 3 steps. He was trying to overcome Bali's selfishness, even though Bali was giving things to people, trying to curb his power by reclaiming the world for Bhagwan. At this time of his defeat, Bali was already a Vishnu devotee. And his last step, Bhagwan Shri Vishnu was asked by Bali to step on his head, to send him to the underworld, to maintain the underworld. So this day really marks that time where Mahabali comes back to the world and is worshipped and remembered as a future birth of Lord Indra. Again, there's a big story behind this, devotees. I can't get into all the details just yet. As we continue our sermons through the Srimad Bhagavad Puran, you're going to learn more about this story of Vamana, of King Bali, and essentially what all happened and why we worship Bali more on this day. But that's why that day, the day after, is either performed as Govardhan Puja or we perform Bali Pratipada. And finally, the last day of Diwali, the 5th and final day, which will be on, so Friday, November 5th, is Govardhan Puja. Saturday, November 6th, which is a perfect day, is known as Bhai Dooj or Vishwakarma Puja. Bhai Dooj literally translates to Brother's Day. It celebrates the sister-brother bond similar to the spirit of Raksha Bandhan, but it's the brother that travels to meet the sister and her family instead of the other way around. The festival is interpreted by some to symbolize Yama's sister, Yamuna, welcome Yamraj with a tilak, while others represent it as the arrival of Krishna at his sister's home, Subhadra, after defeating Narak Asura. She welcomes him with a tilak on his forehead too. So it's a day between brother and sister. There's still, again, religious significance behind it. It's not just a day that we say is what it is. There are religious significance behind these. It celebrates that sibling bond. In historic times, it was a day in autumn when brothers would travel to meet their sisters or invite their sister's family to their village to celebrate that sister-brother bond with a bounty of seasonal harvests. We cook food, we celebrate, we relax together. In some Hindu and Sikh communities, that last day is known as Vishwakarma Puja Day. Vishwakarma, Lord Vishwakarma, is the presiding deva for those in architecture, building, manufacturing, textile work, and craft trades. It's a man who works in the industry of building and merchantry. He is considered as the Swayambhu and the creator of the world. He constructed the holy city of Dwarka, where Krishna ruled, the palace of the Indraprastha for the Pandavas, and was the creator of many fabulous weapons for the god. He was a craftsman. He is also called the divine carpenter, and is mentioned in the Rig Veda as credited with Saptaveda and the science of mechanics and architecture. This day is known for those in that industry to worship Lord Vishwakarma. We perform prayers on looms, our tools of trade, our machines, and our workplaces, which are cleaned with prayers and offered for those with those livelihood means. So for those of you who are in the craft industry, the trade industry, there is a specific day to worship the god of construction, of architecture, of craft, of work, of manufacturing, Lord Vishwakarma, and that is on the 5th day of Diwali, either Bhai Dooj or Vishwakarma Puja. And that, devotees, is all 5 days. All 5 days of Diwali. Day 1, remember, Dhanteras, Adhantrayodashi. Day 2 is Choti Diwali, or Narak Chaturadashi. Day 3 is Diwali. Day 4 is Govardhan Puja, Anakut, or Bali Pratipada. And day 5, Bhai Dooj, or Vishwakarma Puja. Devotees, I do want to leave you with one thing we will go a little over today, and that is a bhajan for those of you who would like to perform your puja to Mother Lakshmi. Remember, your pujas to Mother Lakshmi don't start on the day of Diwali, which is Thursday, November 4th. They actually start on the day, 2 days prior to that, which is going to be on Tuesday, November 2nd. For those of you who would like to do so, there is a bhajan that is very applicable for Mother Lakshmi and the forms of Mother Lakshmi, which at this time I will share with you. You can play it over and over again this week if you'd like. You can learn the lyrics if you need them. I can send them to you as well. But let us join in this very beautiful bhajan to Mother Lakshmi before we conclude with our puja for today. Sumanasa Vandita Sundhari Manham Chandra Soho Nari Hemamai Munigana Mandita Moksha Pradayani Manjula Bashini Veranuti Panghajavasini Deva Sapuji Sadamuna Arshani Santi Yuti Jaya Jaya Madhusudhana Kamani Jaya Jaya Madhusudhana Kamani Anti Lakshmi Sada Palyamam Anti Lakshmi Sada Palyamam Ayupalikalamashadasini Kamyani Vaidikaru Peni Vedamai Kshira Samudbhava Mangala Rupini Mantra Nivasini Mantra Nuti Amangaladhayani Ambujavasini Deva Ganarachita Padayuti Jaya Jaya Madhusudhana Kamani Jaya Jaya Madhusudhana Kamani Danya Lakshmi Sada Palyamam Danya Lakshmi Sada Palyamam Jaya Varanani Vaishnavi Margani Mantra Swarupeni Mantramai Suragana Pujita Singrapala Pradhachnana Vikasini Sastranute Bhava Maya Harini Papa Vimochini Sadhujanarchita Padaya Yuti Jaya Jaya Madhusudhana Kamani Jaya Jaya Madhusudhana Kamani Hariya Lakshmi Sada Palyamam Hariya Lakshmi Sada Palyamam Jaya Jaya Durgati Nasini Kame Saravakala Pradhasastramai Ratha Jagaturga Padati Samaruta Parijana Mandita Lokanute Harihara Brahma Sapujita Seve Apanivareni Padayute Jaya Jaya Madhusudhana Kamani Jaya Jaya Madhusudhana Kamani Ganja Lakshmi Sada Palyamam Ganja Lakshmi Sada Palyamam Ahi Gangavayeni Mohini Chakrini Rama Vivirni Jananamai Guna Guna Varidhi Kahitai Shini Swaraspata Ushita Varanuti Sakala Jaya Jaya Madhusudhana Kamani, Jaya Jaya Madhusudhana Kamani, Santana Lakshmi Sada Palyama, Santana Lakshmi Sada Palyama, Jaya Kamala Sini Sangati Dayani, Jnana Vikasini Ganamai, Anudina Marchita Kumkumadhu Saramustita Vastita Vadyanute, Kanakadhara Stuti Vaibhavandit, Shankarade Sikamanyapati, Jaya Jaya Madhusudhana Kamani, Jaya Jaya Madhusudhana Kamani, Vinjaya Lakshmi Sada Palyama, Vinjaya Lakshmi Sada Palyama, Pranata Suraswari Bharati Bharanga Vishoka Vina Siniratnamayi, Manimaya Mustita Karma Vibhushana Santi Sama Vrutahasya Mukhe Navanidhinayini Kalimalaharini Kamita Pala Pradhahastayuti, Jaya Jaya Madhusudhana Kamani, Jaya Jaya Madhusudhana Kamani, Vidya Lakshmi Sada Palyama, Vidya Lakshmi Sada Palyama, Dimi Dimi Din Dimi Din Dimi Din Dimi Guru Vidu Nana Spurnamai, Guma 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 Sankaninara Suvadhyanute, Veda Purani Itihasa Supujita Vaidika Marga Pradara Sayuti, Jaya Jaya Madhusudhana Kamani, Jaya Jaya Madhusudhana Kamani, Dhanna Lakshmi Sada Palyamam, Dhanna Lakshmi Sada Palyamam, Dhanna Lakshmi Sada Palyamam. At this time, devotees, I ask that you all join together with me as we go ahead and clasp our hands and close our eyes. And as we do so, take a deep breath in. And as you exhale, relax your spine, your shoulders, your neck, your forehead. Get very comfortable, devotees. Clear your mind of all distractions, all negative thoughts, all impure thoughts. And at this time, focus on a form of Bhagwan that's most pleasing to you. One that helps you focus and join together with me, devotees, as we chant our closing prayers. Om Sarvesham Swasti Bhavatu, Sarvesham Swashanti Bhavatu, Sarvesham Purunam Bhavatu, Sarvesham Mangalam Bhavatu, Om Sarve Sukhino Bhavantu, Sarve Santu Niramaya, Sarve Bhadrani Pashyantu, Ma Kaschita Tukabhang Bhavet, Om Mantrahinam Kriyahinam, Bhaktihinam Janardanam, Yatya Pujitam Maya Deva Paripurnam Tarastu Me, Papoham Papo Karamaham, Papo Atma Papo Sambhava, Trahimam Pudarikaksham Sarva Papo Haro Hari, Om Tvameva Mahataschta Pitha Tvameva, Tvameva Bandhuscha Sakha Tvameva, Tvameva Vidya Dravinam Tvameva, Tvameva Sarvam Mama Deva Deva, Om Asatoma Sagamaya, Tamasoma Jyotirgamaya, Mrityoma Mritam Gamaya, Hari Om Shanti, 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 Hari Om. Om Guru Brahma, Guru Vishnu, Guru Deo Maheshwara, Gurura Sakshat Param Brahma Tasmai Shri Guruve Namaha. Om Shanti Antariksha Gum Shanti Prithvi Shanti Apa Shanti Aushadheya Shanti Vanaspati Shanti Vishwadeva Shanti Brahma Shanti Sarvegvam Shanti Shanti Reva Shanti Sama Shanti Redhi Hari Om Shanti 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 Hari Om Tat Sat. Prem se bola Ganesh Bhagwan ki jai. Prem se bola Saraswati Mata ki jai. Prem se bola Lakshmi Mata ki jai. Prem se bola Adi Shakti Durga Mata ki jai. Prem se bola Vishnu Bhagwan ki jai. Prem se bola Shiva Shankar Bhagwan ki jai. Prem se bola Shiva Shakti Mandir ki jai. Prem se bola Sanatana Dharma ki jai. Devotees, with this we have come to the end of our Sunday morning satsang, and I'd like to thank each and every one of you for being here today live as we perform our virtual Sunday morning service, or for those of you who are watching in the future. I do want to say Jai Sita Ram to Auntie Zandra, to my Anita Didi, and to Geeta as well for chatting here on our YouTube chat. Thank you for being here as well. Just a few announcements that I want to share with everyone today before we conclude, and that's just some events we have coming up. Again, I went over and talked about Diwali for quite some time today, and just so you all know, we will be doing a special Diwali service on Thursday, November 4th, live on our YouTube channel here for Shiva Shakti Mandir. That service is going to begin at, right now I have it down at 6 p.m. 6 p.m. We really want to perform it when it's getting dark, and really, as of late, it's been getting dark right around 6:30. So by the time we actually get to the Mother Lakshmi Puja around 6:45 or 7 o'clock, we'll be at the right time to do so. So that's why we're starting at 6 p.m. We're going to try our best to be on time. If there's any hindrances, or if we're changing the time in any way, shape, or form, devotees, we will let you all know via text and via email. But you will be getting another notification about that this week, about Diwali service, again on Thursday, November 4th at 6 p.m. I also do want to mention that it is daylight savings time coming up. That is on Sunday, November 7th. So that is not today. That is next Sunday, 7 days from today. And that will be the daylight savings time we have. It is the fall, so your clocks will fall back an hour, meaning that you will probably get another extra hour of sleep, which would be kind of nice. The light will change a little bit, but daylight savings time is Sunday, November 7th. Again, that is Sunday, November 7th. Just a few other announcements that I would like to share with all of you in regards to some events we had going on this week. Today we want to wish my Aunt Nancy over, I think you're over in Florida, Aunt Nancy, but a very happy birthday to you, and to my cousin Ted, or my brother Ted, living up in Canada. Today is their birthday, so happy birthday to you both. For Mandir family, this week there was 2 Mandir family members who celebrated their birthday. So first off, to Kevin Somra, very happy birthday to you, brother. I hope you celebrated and had a very wonderful day. And to Auntie Gloria, very happy birthday to you, and a very special thanks to you as well for your calls, your continued support, your texts, and for just going and checking in on the Mandir whenever you can. Very happy birthday to you as well, Auntie Gloria. There's also a very special couple in my life who celebrated their 15th wedding anniversary this week. So to my Tim Dobb and to my Indira Didi, to you both, very, very happy anniversary. That's really all I can say. You know that you're in a great relationship when you have somebody that you work so well with. So to see them and watch them work so well together and continue to watch them grow through their marriage has been such a pleasure for me. I've learned so much from the both of you. Very happy anniversary to you both. And I have one final announcement, devotees, and you have to forgive me because I was remiss in not saying this last week. There's not very many people I would consider in this world tougher than my father. My father being that bulldog, very strict military man. But there's one man in this world that I've always seen as extremely tough, so much so that I think he's even tougher than my father. And that is to my uncle Rajan Ramcharitar, who lives up in the Pennsylvania, New Jersey area. 2 weeks ago, he celebrated his 11th anniversary for having a heart transplant. His 11th anniversary. And that is such a big milestone to know that he's had this new heart and he's been doing so well with it over these past 11 years. He's continuously getting checkups. So to a man who's as tough as nails, who has a heart stronger than anybody that I know, you are the embodiment, sir, of Sanatana Dharma. Sanatana Dharma talks about having a strong mind and a strong spirit, both of which you have, and on top of that, you also have a strong heart as well. So congratulations to you, Uncle Rajan. I'm so glad that your heart is doing well, that you're doing well, and everything is going well for you and Auntie Zandra up north. With that being said, devotees, we have no other announcements for today. I want you all to stay safe. From my family, from Serena, myself, the Biyadaris, on behalf of the executive board and the Shiv Shakti Mandir, we also want to wish each and every one of you a very happy Diwali this year. Remember, Diwali starts on Tuesday. It doesn't start on Thursday. Diwali may be Thursday, but we need to celebrate all 5 days. So I hope you have a wonderful 5 days. We will be here live on Thursday at 6 o'clock for our special Diwali service and obediences and prayers to Mahalakshmi Mata. But until then, devotees, you all have a wonderful week. For those of you who are going out to celebrate Halloween, to go trick-or-treating, to get candy, please stay safe, be aware of your surroundings, be cognizant of everything around you. Have a great week, devotees. We'll see you on Thursday for our special service, and if not, then on Sunday for a regular Sunday morning satsang. Thank you all, devotees. Jai Sita Ram.